there was no benefit to risk ratio for taking a messenger RNA vaccine. In fact, it was more dangerous to take a vaccine than it was to contract COVID-19 and be hospitalized with it. Now, we're now in 2022 that this data started to come out. The side effects for this essentially gene therapy was so enormous and progressive, it was difficult to fathom. And then finally, a few months ago, some of the detailed biochemistry studies started to appear in the literature. And this sudden flood of messenger RNA, it appears irrespective of what the messenger RNA insert is coding for. Just the sheer amount of number of millions of molecules of messenger RNA entering the cell is creating biochemical havoc. It's disrupting protein metabolism. It's interfering with tumor suppressor genes. It's damaging the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. It had to be stopped. It turns out that the manufacturers did not do due diligence to ensure these were safe products before they were released onto the American market. And throughout 2021 to 2024, the drug companies essentially ran the pandemic response. Nobody stood up to them. Nobody questioned them. Judicial Watch, America's First Legal, were able to obtain some documents. They didn't want to release it. Pfizer, they wanted a 70-year moratorium on the clinical data from the trials, which from the start showed these never prevented infection, never prevented disease transmission. And there's no good clinical data to ever show it reduced the severity of disease. The CDC, in response, I don't know what's wrong with that once fine agency, but they become a supplicant of Big Pharma. They put out a paper saying, yes, we've saved like 14 million lives, the vaccination program. No, the paper's been torn to shreds by epidemiologists. It was based against a computer model and against an idea where you have the peak and it comes down and then it goes back up again. The vaccines have injured hundreds of thousands, and we're not really sure how many have been killed by it, but a significant amount. They had to come off the market. There was no choice. You want to make America healthy again, it had to be stopped.